What up, people? Coach V, New Breed Boxing. Fire and fear. Fear in the ring. The big elephant in the room that nobody seems to talk about anymore. The person that addressed this the best, I think, is Customato, which I think had a lot to do with the fact that he was the best coach and the most accomplished coach, pretty much in the history of boxing. And the thing is, he addressed every single dimension of boxing, from the preparation to the actual action of it, to the aftermath of it, the whole package. I think people are way too concerned with just teaching people fundamentals, and they're not addressing the emotional, mental aspects of the sport, which are deeper than the actual technical side of it on some levels. For example, I got guys all the time, I see it in my gym, I see it in other gyms, a dude will look like Mike Tyson, physically on the bags, punching hard, fast, mad aggressive. Second he gets in the ring, turn into a little kitty cat. You pop him one time, his eyes are watering up, he about to cry, he's getting emotional. You're like, yo, what's up? This guy looks like a killer when he's hitting the bag, but when you get him in the ring, he's like a little girl, you know what I mean? What's the problem? What's gonna happen? His coach is like, no, you gotta step into the jab, and bro, it's not a technical issue. You're misdiagnosing the problem. Your man has a mental block. He's personally being affected. It's not a fundamental issue. It's none of that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the root of the problem, and that is, for some people, they just don't got the heart. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Over time, I've seen the same guys turn into thoroughbreds, just great fighters. They got the whole package. Like, not everybody starts out with everything. That's why there's a process. You know what I mean? We learn on, just how we learn the jab, we learn the footwork, we learn the punches, we learn the defense. You also got to learn how to mentally prepare yourself. Some people just got it. Some people don't need that. I still think everybody should be evaluated, so to speak, as far as just what their approach is. As a coach, coaches should be asking you, like, how you feel from time to time too. Not just how you look, you know what I mean? You got to get deeper than that. You got to get to the root of the issues. Whether somebody's carrying personal problems into the ring, whatever, that's something else. So when we talk about fear, Customato, his philosophy was the best. He said, fear is like fire. Rocky Balboa used this too. He took it from Cuss in the movie. Fear is fire. That's energy. But technically, scientifically, it's adrenaline being dumped into your bloodstream, and then all of a sudden you got all this extra energy, and you got to know what to do with it. So if you don't do anything with it, it goes right into your thoughts. All that energy starts speeding up your thoughts. That adrenaline goes into your blood. You get racing thoughts. You start thinking about usually negative stuff is the first thing that comes to your mind. What if I get knocked out? What if I can't take this guy's punches? What if my girlfriend's in the crowd, or my mom is in the crowd, and what are they gonna think about me? Oh, my boy's gonna stop talking. I don't know. People get all these irrational fears. It's like there's so many different ways people have addressed it. It's like the acronym: face everything and rise, or false expectations appearing real. Fear. People are getting afraid of things that haven't even happened yet, or that might not ever happen. For example, I'm in the water park the other day. I'm with my son. He's very young. We're going up to the highest slide. He's terrified. He's crying on the way up. Even me, my heart is like racing. Me personally, I would rather get into a fight to the death with a stranger in an alley. If you told me either fight some random psychopath in the street or go down this slide, I'm like, where he at? Who we fighting? Because that slide, that had me scared to death, I ain't gonna lie. And then we get to the top of the damn thing, we climbing up mad high, scared. Every step we get there, remind me of fighting. Every step we get closer and closer, you get more fear, you start feeling the butterflies, your heart, palpitating. And then we get up there, and there's some little ass kid looking like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, jumping up and down, all excited, like he couldn't wait to get on the, I'm like, yo, you see, this is what I mean. Your perception versus reality. People let their mind play tricks on them and just destroy their focus. If you can hit the bag like Mike Tyson, then you can hit a person the same way. And some people just can't make that correlation. They start, like I said, they start misdiagnosing the problem and going over the technical, fundamental reasons why you're not executing your plan. Get to the root of the problem, man. You got to shake it off. You got to get inoculated to the fear of potentially losing. You got to have, listen, if you have any worries, see, fear and worry is different. Worrying about stuff is where you're letting your mind just play tricks on you, and fear is connected to that. But if you redirect the energy from fear, that's adrenaline that's being dumped into your blood. So you can either let that consume you, like they say, the fire consume you, or you could turn it out and redirect that energy outwardly onto your opponent and burn his ass up. That's what we want to do. We want to take him out. I mean, listen, if you're a high speed, high energy person, you're either going to be overwhelmed or, you're going to be overwhelming to the person that you're facing. And that's the whole objective. I'm going to say one more thing. One of the best things Custom Auto said. He said, what's the difference between a hero and a coward? There ain't no difference. The only difference is the hero does what the coward wants to do. He still feels the same. He still feels afraid, but he does it anyway. And the coward doesn't do anything. He just sits there and just freezes. That's the only difference. They both feel the same. It's just one takes action, the other one doesn't. And another thing to keep in mind, if you do go into a fight or a situation where you're competing, sparring, whatever, the day that you don't feel that fire, that fear, is probably the day you might get hurt worse than ever. Because I can tell you from my own personal experiences, whenever I was, overly confident going into a situation, usually that's when I did the worst. And when I was doubting myself a little bit nervous, that's when I just tear somebody up better than I ever did. Because you just, you got that hair trigger reflex, and you got to, just like I said, redirect the energy. Understand the process of fear. Your mind registers whatever the threat is or the perceived threat. Your body has a stimulus response. It dumps the adrenaline into your blood. And then it's up to you. Keep another thing in mind, another tip. Motion relieves tension. Stay moving. Stay loose and, stay loose, stay moving around, shaking your arms out, kicking your legs out. Do some jumping jacks, jogging plays, moving around, shadow box. That's why when you get, warmed up for the fight, we like to stay moving, and we do what's called keeping warm. Stay hot, keep the engine running. So once you get your heart rate up, you let your physical body get your heart rate up to match the mental side of your body overreacting. And then you kind of balance out the energy levels of your mind and your body. And now the engine is warm and you're ready to go to war. And that's how you should look at it. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, start warming up. You warm up incrementally, little by little. Don't go crazy. You just warm up first gear, second gear, third gear, until you get fully warmed up. If if your coach is doing his job, he'll time that leading up to when it's time to go into the ring. And you go out there and you tear somebody up, you get busy. So hope that helped you out. If you got any questions about that, drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. Check me out on Instagram, coach.v_. Till the next time, we out. Out.